Welcome to your practice for today. This is going to be a whole body practice where we're going to be working both with the body and the mind, modalities including yoga and qigong and some mindfulness. And let's begin. So we're starting seated, and here I have a yoga block underneath and a blanket just to elevate the hips a little bit. Feel free to come on to a really comfortable position for yourself, and for the beginning part you can even be seated on a chair. You can come into a comfortable just cross-legged posture, or maybe if it feels more convenient or if the knees are completely comfortable, you can also come on to this kneeling position as well. So you choose whichever one feels right to you for this moment. Maybe some other times you're going to end up choosing something different. So as we begin, just to help this body and brain and mind kind of connected to each other, or maybe the mind especially relaxing down, brain and body again, just a bit more coordinated together, we're going to start by bringing the shoulders to the ears. So squeeze, tighten. Squeeze, tighten, 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 release. Do that one more time with inhalation. Even hold the breath this time for a few moments. You can close your eyes or really make your funny face if you like. And as you exhale, release. Just take a moment to notice how the shoulders are feeling, the sides of your neck are feeling. We're almost like exaggerating this tightness to start feeling how it really feels to be relaxed, if you know what I mean. As we now start to move a little more intentionally, take the arms up, reach up high. As you exhale, release them down. Coordinating it with the breath just for a few moments. We're going to do a bit longer breathing a little bit later. Exhale, release. This is just to make you aware of almost like the movement and the wave of the breath. Inhale and exhale. And now this time when you take the arms up overhead, stay here and just kind of loosely lift them up one at a time, circle the wrists, do something with your fingers, almost like wiggling the ribs a little bit side to side. And as you are here, reaching up high, maybe if you want to try a little bit of a twist for the spine as well, turning the hands to one side, back to center, and turning to the other side. Do that one more time. Inhaling, exhaling, turning to one side. This is just a little, like a mini twist for the moment, and then turn to the other side. And this time, while the arms are still up here, turn the hands to face up towards the sky. Imagine you are really holding the sky on top of your hands. Just feel this moment of your back body lengthening. Your arms, yeah, they are almost like pushing up, but feel yourself connected with your like whole back body supporting you. Just feel, relax the shoulders down. Imagine almost like you're really holding the sky in your palms. And as we slowly start to release here with a little bit of shaking, more like from qigong. So start to just take your hands kind of randomly, shake, shake, shake. We're trying to almost like open the energy meridian lines just at the fingertips. Slowly take your arms out to the side. Almost like random shaking as we continue. Now bring them to the front as we're opening the whole energy lines, especially in your arms. Lower part of the arms as well as upper part of the arms have some important meridian lines going on. Now as you bring the hands, this time take them on your back a little bit. You're just stretching a little bit the arms backwards. Just do that for one or two more breaths. Shake, shake, shake. And then slowly release. Bring your hands on your lap somewhere. Close your eyes. And take a moment to feel this whole space from your head, neck, shoulders, arms. Feel your arms, their volume, length, the way they are almost like dropping down or gently pulled down by gravity. And gradually turning the attention inward, connecting with the breath. And as you're doing that, without starting to manipulate the breath a little bit with a little bit more intention, just say hi to yourself and just notice at this time of the day, when you're practicing this, it could be any time of the day, connect with your precious being. If you like, you can bring one hand on your chest and just greeting, maybe just saying hi, maybe hello, or maybe if you want to have a little bit almost like a stronger intention that you would like to cultivate during your practice, you can do that too. And maybe anything that may feel convenient for you, please go ahead and choose that. But otherwise, I would just invite you to become aware of just this present moment, maybe for this practice. Almost really getting in touch with this moment as is. And notice, as we will probably come back to this intention several times, you can just check with yourself and notice how does that make you feel. So just connecting with this moment, feeling your hand right over your chest, or maybe wherever it is touching. And your hand can still continue to be here, or maybe you can drop it down or place it on your lower belly just to feel the expansion and contraction of the breath. And exhale, whole breath out. And now turning this into intentional breathing or pranayama, inhaling fully. And exhale out. Doing your best to have relatively longer inhalations and exhalations. If you can, count while you are inhaling and exhaling, maybe up to 4 seconds, and even longer if you could, maybe 5, maybe 6 seconds, inhaling and exhaling. As much as possible, having the length of inhalation and exhalation equal. Notice as you're continuing like that, counting or not counting, feel the rhythm of the breath. You can also feel the movement of the breath somewhere in your body, maybe in your belly or maybe whole body, almost like 360, expanding and contracting. And doing it slowly. Do it in such a way that this is the most important thing in your life. And if you take a moment to consider, it is indeed the most important thing in your life. So do 2 more intentional, deep, nice, full breaths. As you release, just take a moment, open your eyes if they were closed, to connect with this moment as is. Notice how the body feels, how the mind feels, nervous system, any changes or similar distractedness maybe as the time that you began this practice. All good, just noticing what is really happening right now. As we start to move more, a bit more intentionally, we'll stay a little bit on the ground. If you have yoga blocks or blankets, of course, just have them as a support for the remaining part of the practice. And then we'll do some standing postures, and then we'll take time for maybe a brief Shavasana towards the end. So as we begin, coming on to tabletop position. So I'm just taking the block to the front, and I'm going to place the blanket. So if you have any anything similar to a blanket or a big towel would be handy, and this would be especially helpful if you have hardwood floors, just to support your knees. Otherwise, you don't really need this, like no knee issues, everything is good, just go without it. So you decide. So as you bring the hands under the shoulders, wrists more or less under the shoulders, having enough space between your hands and your knees. Knees are right under the hips. Your fingers are wide as much as possible. Have a sense of almost like the index finger straight, so a little bit of turning outward in your, especially upper arms. As we start to move, and especially when we move, if the hands or wrists are sensitive or you don't feel like this is getting too much, maybe you can make a fist with the hands, or even if you have yoga blocks, you can place your lower arms on the yoga blocks. So again, you choose whichever one feels right for you. As we start to move here, your hands can also be a little bit more like attention focusing on your finger area, and the wrists are just slightly lifted. Starting to move with the breath here. Inhaling, dropping the belly, feel the tailbone rising up a little bit. Exhaling, tailbone down, rounding the spine. Do that a few more times like that, coordinating it with your own breath. Allow the breath to initiate the movement. Inhaling and lengthening the front body, tailbone up. Exhaling, rounding, draw the belly button in here. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Feel this undulation in the spine and recognize that as a way to coordinate upper body and then lower body together. And one last time here. And then exhale. And slowly, as you come here, just more like a neutral position now, when you are ready, step forward with one foot, coming onto a lunge pose. And when you come onto the lunge, just check maybe for a moment to feel the knees or heels, more or less like your feet on parallel tracks. So have some space between this heel and then the knee. You can use yoga blocks. If you don't have a yoga block, your hands will be on the ground. I'm going to be doing it with the yoga blocks. So when you are ready, feel the knee bend here and inhale. And as you exhale, straighten the leg, coming into a hamstring stretch. Feel the sensations behind the leg. Do that 2 more times. Same thing, inhaling, finding the lunge, exhaling, hamstring stretch. 1 more time here, finding the lunge. Notice what's happening in front of the left leg. Exhaling, finding the hamstring stretch. Use the blocks maybe, draw them a little bit back as you are, leg is as straight as possible. You're doing your best. If it is not full straight, don't worry about it, just doing your best. But at the same time, while the leg is straight, lengthen the spine also to the front. Just taking a few moments here with your long spine. Chin is almost like reaching towards your toes. And as you exhale, bend the knee again. Bring the blocks to the front. And let's just do the other side same way. Take the knee back and step forward with the other foot. Again, moving for a few rounds in the lunge to help the front of the back leg to stretch, and the back of the front leg. These are really good stretches for those of us who sit too long. So we're helping the part of the legs that gets short when we sit for too long. Moving with your own breath here. Inhaling, finding the lunge. Exhaling, hamstring stretch. And next time when you come on to the hamstring stretch, we're going to stay here. So just finding the position and then maybe drawing the blocks a little bit towards the back. And as you are again lengthening for a few moments, stretching the back of the leg and reaching forward, breathing in and out. Have the breath going steady as much as possible, smooth. equal length if you can, again, during the practice as well, please. And gradually bend the knee again, bring the blocks to the front, and now bring your hands on either side of your foot. Take your knee back. And as you are moving here now, preparing to lift up, and for those of you who is not practicing downward facing dog, from here you can slowly come and step forward into a forward fold and just stay there with knees bent. Otherwise, tuck the toes under and slowly lift the knees up. And then bring the pelvis up towards the sky. Sit bones reaching upwards towards the ceiling. Take a few moments maybe to bend one at a time as you're preparing the body. Chest is coming closer towards the top of the thighs. If it feels kind of your back legs are feeling good, you can just stay still here or maybe keep bending one at a time. As we slowly prepare the body now to come towards the front, take any materials that you may be using and slowly start to walk towards the front. And just take a few moments here, maybe just move your shoulders a little bit. And while you are here, we're going to do just one twist here. So have the leg straight, that's going to be your stretching leg, and bring the other hand, other side hand in the middle, and that leg is bent. And when you are ready, open the hand out towards the sky. Maybe again do something with the hand and wrist, just circle, circle, circle. And as you exhale, release. And now straighten the other leg and bend this one. Now the other hand is in the middle. You're turning, circling, circling, circling again. And as you slowly release the hand, bring it down. Just shake the shoulders if you like. Maybe even shake the hands, especially like this, maybe to help the shoulders to really relax. And as we slowly now move a little bit more intensively, feel your legs, let them bend, and lift a little bit high. Bring your hands just on your hips at the beginning. Feel the tailbone. Don't let it kind of tilt backwards, so contain that in. So spine is relatively straight here in its neutral curves, and reach forward with the hands. And as you're staying here, feel the sensations. Maybe your legs are getting a little bit kind of heated, no? And heartbeat will start to get a little bit faster, so recognize all of those things. Keep engaging your belly. Chest is almost like a little bit higher from the hips. And as you are here, we're going to stay here for a few breaths. So feel free to maybe bring the hands, grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. And as we are just playing, if you want to join me, otherwise you can just stay here, maybe coming on to the tippy toes. Staying here or maybe playing one foot at a time. Notice the heat building. Notice maybe the sense of a little bit of kind of balance challenge coming in. And just stay here maybe for one more nice breath. Sink even lower maybe and feel the sensations. Gradually, as we prepare to change, again, release the hands. Maybe bring them alongside the ears. Feel their engagement. And then very slowly bring your arms around. As you release the heels, feel the ease. And very slowly, as you press your feet firmly down, reach up towards the sky. Arms reach high. As you exhale, make a circle, cross the hands in front of you for a moment. Do that one more time. Arms reach up high. Feel your strong legs, feet firmly pressing down. And one last time here. And this time when you take the arms up overhead, notice this sensation of arms reaching up high. And if you can, maybe again try as we did earlier, bend your fingers or flex them so that they're coming closer towards your forearms. And imagine your arms, they don't have to be fully straight, maybe slightly bent, but feel a sense of you are holding the sky in your hands. Feel free to bend your knees a little bit here, drop the shoulders down, but feel a sense of like a deep stretch actually that's happening in the almost like below the arms area. This is a good stretch for, again, those of us who uses mouse or hold the hands in the same position. So we're really stretching the tendons of the arms. And imagine you're really holding this big, huge sky between your hands. And notice how that feels, and notice what is building inside. Maybe a sense of questioning, like how much more we're going to be holding here, or whatever it is. Again, just taking note. And gradually, as we add on to this a little bit more, lift your heels when you are ready. Your hands are still maybe in this position, or maybe hands are reaching up towards the sky. Feel the balance challenge, maybe wobbliness and whatever is kind of happening. Maybe you're going to fall. Just notice all is good. And slowly, as you exhale, releasing the heels, feel the ease. And let it almost like spread through your whole body. And very slowly from there, make a big circle with the hands as the hands face outwards. And close your eyes. Do it very, very slowly, slower than you can imagine. As you complete the circle, big whole circle around the body, awareness just in your fingertips. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Let the palms and fingers to touch each other. And be curious about the sensations between your hands, right under your feet, and the overall, how the body feels. Breathing in, breathing out, allowing the breath, again, maybe for a few moments, just self-regulating. Come back to more like a neutral position or rhythm. And as you exhale, release the hands. And notice how like your inner being is feeling right now. And if you would like to hydrate yourself, maybe drink some water or maybe some herbal tea or something. So please do so. And as we keep moving now a little bit more actively with a few standing postures, let's just do a couple of things from yoga. So when you are ready, coming on or staying, if you were already there, in front of the mat, feel your feet about parallel to each other or about hip bone, like this space apart from each other. And when you are ready, take the arms up, big circle. As you exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees if you like here, and inhale, lengthen gaze in front of you, maybe a couple of 2 feet or so. And then exhale, bend. Inhale one more time, big, nice. Exhale, fold forward and bring the hands towards the right side of your mat on either side of your right foot and step back with the left. Stay with your back foot on the ground as you slowly lift yourself up. Maybe bring the hand onto your thigh first and then lift it up. You can even stay on the ground if you would like to when we come some of the lunges. Otherwise, inhaling, let's do maybe a few flows here before we come on to holding. So feel your front leg at the beginning straight. Inhale, reach up high and bend the knee. And as you exhale, release the hands and reach back with your hands, bringing the torso parallel into pyramid variation. Inhaling, lifting up, warrior one, and exhaling, hands, arms reach back actively. We'll do this maybe 2 more times, and then we're gonna hold here in each pose. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, reach up high. Feel the changes from pose to pose as we are flowing. And now next time when you come on to this warrior one, we're gonna stay. As you find this pose, check with your body. Your feet are in parallel tracks to each other. For the arms, feel, depending on your energy level, you may like to have them really up, reaching, you're feeling like full of energy, or maybe not today, just bring them into cactus, or maybe just on your hips. Wherever you choose to hold your hands is all perfect. You just decide. Maybe I'll go with this one for this time. So finding this uprightness as you keep pressing the outer edge of the back foot down, knees slightly bent at the front. Your torso pelvis is almost like facing straight towards the short edge of the mat. As we slowly start to change the position, inhale here, and as you exhale, straighten the front leg, and you can take a moment in between to bring the back foot a little bit closer and open it a little bit wider. And then as you stay here, torso parallel to the ground, reach back with the hands, and you can just stay here, or hands maybe just on your hips. If you want more action, maybe you can start to make like small pulsing movements with your hands as the palms are facing each other, bringing them close. Do that a few more times. Notice as you do this almost like squeezing movement, your biceps and more like triceps, I guess, they will come close towards each other. And then at the end, hold it here as you have the legs straight, torso reaching towards the front, and also draw the hip crease a little bit backwards here. It tends to come towards the front. So very active stretch. I can imagine your leg is really stretching here. And slowly from here, as we release, bend the knee, bring the hands on either side of your foot, adjust the back foot a little bit as you slowly. Again, if you are not practicing downward facing dog, drop the knee and then just come on to the tabletop. Otherwise, coming on to the downward facing dog for a moment. Reaching up with the hips and slowly coming down onto plank pose. Again, do your version of vinyasa. If you are doing especially maybe more faster versions, you can do that. Otherwise, knees come down, chest come down, and then you reach up a little bit for cobra, tucking the toes under. Maybe taking a moment actually here in child pose before we do the other side. When you are ready, lifting up again, and maybe again going all the way up to the downward facing dog, and then stepping forward with the left foot this time. Place the right foot on the ground. And as you, again, we're going to do the same thing, flowing with the inhalation, arms reach up high, knee bends, front knee, exhaling, folding forward, almost tapping into this pyramid. Inhaling, reaching up high, exhaling. One last time, inhaling, exhaling. And now holding the pose or staying in the pose for a few breaths. Again, you choose however you would like to have your arms expressed. Just cactus is perfectly fine. Breathing in, breathing out. Drop the shoulders down here as we are holding. Keep pressing the back foot down as you are breathing. Finding an easy breath, and even though there's a lot of engagement, especially in the legs and arms are reaching, find a way to relax and notice how you are holding or how things are feeling in a very engaged position. What is there? Again, being aware of your inner conversation as well. As we prepare to release, take one more big, nice breath. And as you exhale, straighten the leg, adjust the position so you can bring the back foot a little bit closer and wider, and reaching back with the hands. And you decide again if you want to have a little bit more active stance here. Your hands are reaching back actively and also pulsing towards each other. Almost like exhaling, bringing closer and squeezing the triceps back of the upper arms. 2 more, and then holding here, just holding, 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 and reaching back, back, back. And as you exhale, releasing the pose as you bring the hands down, adjust the back foot, and stepping back again. Maybe all the way up to downward facing dog. You can just stay here and then step forward as well, or maybe doing your version of vinyasa, or just staying here, finding your hips reaching up. And breathing. Gradually now, as we start to walk towards the front, and if you have done your vinyasa again from downward facing dog, or if you went to maybe tabletop, it's all good. As we slowly will come up from here, so you can maybe just take a moment to grab opposite elbow with opposite hand and shake the head loose, release maybe, or bring almost like shoulders close to the ears for a moment. And very slowly, as you press your feet firmly down, open the arms out to the side, and then lifting up. Big circle again. As you exhale, bring the hands on your side. One hand on your belly, one hand on your chest this time. And take a moment, again, to notice what is here right now. Maybe can you greet yourself one more time, as if almost like you're checking, how are we doing, my dear? Of some sort, of your version, please. And becoming aware of how the maybe base of your feet feels, how your hands feel, how the whole body feels, noticing any changes in the sensations. And in the inner conversation. As you exhale, slowly release the hands. As we now do a little bit more active version, I would like to just turn this way so you can see, or I may kind of try both of them. So we're going to be doing something a little bit active with the Utkatasana, chair pose, lifting, holding, and things like that. So it's going to be a little bit more for like leg strengthener as well as some balance challenge, and the heat will be relatively higher at the end. And feel free to use, maybe go next to a wall to get support, or maybe use a chair if you need as a kind of if you feel a challenge when it comes to balance poses. Sometimes it happens, and some days we feel just a bit more wobbly for whatever reason. So as we start moving here, I'm going to maybe demonstrate from the side. So coming on to chair pose as we sit backwards. So starting with the hands reaching to the front and exhaling, reaching back. This is sometimes called like ski chair. And inhaling, as you bring the hands to the front, lift the knee. Exhale again. Knee drops. And the other leg lifts. We're going to do this a few more times like that. We are changing the leg, switching from one leg to the other. And one other thing may be that you can add, it will increase the heartbeat, so just watch out for that. You can take the arms up overhead as well if you want to. Let's do maybe a couple of more like that. Switching the legs. Arm, again, you decide if it's going to be just parallel or maybe up. And then sinking low. Lifting. Hands reach back. And next time we're going to change this. So feel your arms reaching back. Pelvis is not like tilting back. Always watch out for that when you do Utkatasana chair pose. And next time when you lift the hands and bend the knee, just stay here. You can stay like that, hands reaching to the front, or I can just turn maybe a little bit. So you can have your hands opening out to the side. Do something with the hands again. A few moments of just like, these are good stuff for the hands, all the joints. There's a lot of joints actually in our hands and our feet, and notice what's happening with the balance. If you want to add on the ankles and maybe toes also something, just stay here. If you want, again, you can just stay here. Try maybe just pulsing with the knee this time. Coming on to just like a tiny bit of a bend in the knee and then releasing. Doing that one more time. Again, for this round, feel free to use maybe a chair or come next to a wall and get support with one hand. One last time here. Just maybe staying this time in this knee bent version. And then slowly straighten the leg and then bring your hands on your back, on your hips, and then take your leg backwards. So I'm just turning again, taking the leg back. Feel now the change. This part of the leg maybe worked quite a bit. And if things are feeling comfortable, your heel can be up or down, you decide. But just make sure that you have your feet in parallel form and bring the hands on your back. Interlace them if they come close. If interlacing the hands is not accessible, all good. Maybe just bring your hands on your low back here and take the hands down if they're interlaced. Otherwise, maybe they're coming almost like on your low back. Feel this big opening. And then as we slowly release, take the arms up towards the sky for a moment. Exhale, bring the hands onto the hips and then step forward. Just take a moment to feel. Compare if you can, maybe one side and the other. And notice the changes. Notice any maybe sense of spaciousness or maybe just things are flowing a little bit more. You decide, you check. Your experience is what matters. This is what I'm kind of feeling, but yours may be very different from that. And now I'm just gonna maybe take a sip from my water before we do the other side. Now stepping, we're gonna do the Utkatasana and then maybe, yeah, let's do a couple of rounds only. Just reaching back and then lifting. And let's do the other side and we're gonna hold in the next one. Hands reach back and this time holding here and opening the arms out to the side. I'm again turning this way. And as you are staying here, playing if you like, maybe hands just circle, circle, circle. And when you are ready, if you want to add on, bending the knee and then straightening. A few rounds. You can do anything with your hands actually, anything that would kind of keep them moving. They can be just like staying still as well. Notice how balance is getting tricky for me. And do that one more time. And now stay here if you can. And then slowly bring your hands onto the hips and now step back. I'm again turning this way, coming on to this high lunge version if you like, if the heel is lifted. And hands interlace at the back again. Finding a moment to really stretch or open the chest as you bring the shoulder blades close at the back. This is again an opportunity for those of us who sits too long in front of a computer, you know, in a slouched position. As we slowly just take one more nice breath here, full big. And just as a release, maybe take the arms up for a moment and then exhale. Bring the hands down on either side of your foot. Adjust the back foot maybe a little bit and then take the leg as the hips reach up towards the sky, lifting, exhaling, bringing the body into more like a parallel or plank position. When you are ready, knees down, chest down, all the way. And here, it's a bit kind of hard for me to guide here, but so when you are ready, bring your hands alongside the torso. And we're gonna be doing the same thing. I'm just gonna be guiding this because it's a bit tricky to do it. So as the hands are reaching backwards alongside the torso, feel them active as we did earlier in the class, almost like do the same thing, feel them reaching backwards. And then slowly, as you lift the head and chest upwards, up off the ground, feel the pubic bone area that's going to be on the ground. And maybe outer glutes are going to be engaged a little bit. Lift the hands. They are reaching backwards towards your heels. And when you are ready, you can lift the legs and then interlace the hands again if you like, maybe. And then lift up high, bringing the shoulder blades very close towards each other. Feel the work is being done by the middle part of your upper back. Breathing in, breathing out, and notice how difficult this may feel. Take 2 more breaths. Stay here, stay with me. Breathe in, breathe out. One last time, and for this one, lengthen even higher, maybe tiny bit of kind of upward towards the sky. And as you exhale, slowly release the movement. Drop your hands down on your sides or maybe under your forehead. But feel for a moment again, what is here to feel? Feel the breath maybe, the points touching to the ground. Notice how the breath got bigger. So feel all of your ribs almost like expanding and contracting. As you're connecting with the breath again, feel this life force, this aliveness moving through you. Re-energizing, recharging your own being. Big, nice. One more breath. And as you exhale slowly, shifting now on to a child pose. So bring your hands next to your chest and lift and then drop the hips to the heels. And in child pose, stay here for a few breaths. You can make it very active if you like by reaching with the hands towards the front, maybe hands and fingertips. Or maybe if it feels good, again, you check and make sure that the one you're doing is nice for your own body. Hands maybe reaching backwards as well. You can even grab the the heels at the back, and your forehead can be on the ground. And gradually from here, after you feel the low back really extending, roll yourself up again, coming on to this just kneeling maybe position, and very slowly just swinging the legs to the side and then coming down. We will slowly come now onto the ground and then do a few maybe twists before we do the Shavasana. So you slowly bring yourself down on your back. If you want to take your time and maybe have a little bit more core work happening here, you can grab the back of the thighs and then slowly, as you're breathing, coming all the way, maybe a couple of breaths even, and releasing yourself down, and take a moment to feel before you do anything. And when you are ready, draw the knees towards your chest. Maybe nice like hugging sensation, rocking side to side if you like at the beginning. And when you are ready, bring the hands onto the kneecaps and start to make circles here. Both knees moving in the same direction. And then to the other side. So reverse the move. And as you slowly release here or come into the, like in the middle, drop your feet down and open your arms out to the side. Just take a moment to feel this arms in a T position, knees bent. And when you are ready, just move your legs side to side for a few rounds. A windshield wiper-like movement for the knees. And then when you are ready, you can just drop your knees to one side and then stay there. And for that, you can also lift the pelvis a little bit and then turn the hips in such a way that they're going to be almost like stacked on top of each other. You can also use your hand to gently guide, adjust maybe the spine as if you need to. Your hand doesn't have to be there. It can be just on the ground, and it may be very loose twist as well. It's all good. And as you're breathing here, notice how this position feels right now. And pay attention to this area, lower end of your lungs, the lower lobes. Feel how much space is there right now. And then take the breath in towards that area. You can stay here much longer if you would like to, because it's a great position, let's say, to open really the lower part of the lungs, which are not really used much in our normal day-to-day life. And gradually, with your inhalation, bring the knees back to the center. And same thing, just turning towards the other side, maybe lifting the pelvis a little bit and then rotating the legs. Maybe hips are stacked on top of each other. Maybe you're guiding the knee with your hand. This other hand is on your side somewhere, on your back. If you want to try maybe other variations for this arm, if it feels good, almost like to reach up overhead, it's all good. You can try to do that too. Breathing in, breathing out. Feeling again now this side of the lungs, the lower lobes again, being used, being really filled up all the way. Big, nice. Exhaling, and when you're ready, slowly taking the legs back to the center with your inhalation. And as we are preparing for Shavasana, you can take a few moments maybe to do anything else that your body would like to do. It could be happy baby, where you can grab sides of your leg, your feet, outside, inside, or maybe grabbing the big toe and rocking side to side like that. Or maybe a bridge pose, or maybe the butterfly, where you have the soles of the feet touch and hands interlace and they just go under your head if you like. Staying here maybe for a few breaths. Again, do check it with your own body and choose whichever kind of move feels right for you. Again, you can stay here much longer, but otherwise, when you are ready, releasing and bringing the knees close towards each other and staying here as you slowly find your way on to Shavasana. You can keep your knees like that, or maybe have your legs straight, opening out to the sides. And as for a few moments, I'll be just guiding a quick Shavasana. Please feel free to stay much longer here if you would like to. So as you're lying down here, in a very comfortable position, find spine. Become aware of the spine, almost like the axis right in the middle of the body. And allow your arms and legs, feet, hands open equidistant from the center. And you can take a moment to maybe turn your head side to side before you come into final stillness. And then at the end, as you bring the head in the middle, let your chin be a little bit kind of tucked towards the chest. And feel your neck long at the back. Eyes closed if it feels comfortable. And become aware of all the points of the body touching to the ground. From your heels to the back of the legs, back of the torso, hands, arms, Allow these points to feel almost even heavier. A sense of almost like melting down, taking more space in these touch points. Gradually allow also the face to relax completely if you can. Muscles around the eyes, let them be really soft. Forehead almost like smooth. And the base of the tongue is very soft. And allow your face to be almost expressionless. And as we're going to be taking a few moments here, allow the attention to turn inward again. And maybe if there was any intention that you may have set for this practice, take a moment to connect with that. Otherwise, taking as much as you want here in this position, resting and just being curious about your experience right now. Being aware of whatever is happening. Physical body, points of contact, or other sensations, or thinking mind, whatever is there, just notice. But imagine yourself almost like, instead of following a train of thought, consider them as almost like clouds in the sky, and imagine or feel yourself as the sky in which the clouds appear. Rest here as much as you would like to. Namaste.